Katerina Siniakova v Qinwen Zheng, Berlin tournament. Katerina. The match got rain delayed, so finishing today potentially. Katerina Siniakova leading the first set 5-3 with a breaker serve in the first set. As the two players are on the court for the match. Steffi Graf Stadion. Steffi Graf. One of the greatest players of the WTA and the greatest German tennis player. Having won 22 Grand Slam trophies / titles, won 4 Australian Opens, 6 French Opens, 7 Wimbledons, and 5 US Opens. For all those Grand Slam titles / trophies of those tournaments. Katerina Siniakova. Ball striking player. Best shot, double-handed backhand. All right enough at the net as well, with volleys. Qinwen Zheng, ball striking player, and also an all right enough serve. Qinwen Zheng service game. Zheng with a serve, Siniakova return, and then Qinwen Zheng with a forehand to the left, a bit out, so advantage Siniakova, break point and set point on this Qinwen Zheng service game. 5-3 Siniakova leading with a break in the first set. Zheng with a wide serve, Siniakova backhand return, bit of depth, and Zheng with a backhand return with depth to left. Siniakova returns, and then forehand to forehand of 2 shots each, and the third forehand from Zheng with depth to left. Siniakova returns, and then Qinwen Zheng with a forehand drop shot to the left, and it's a forehand drop shot winner from Qinwen Zheng. Juice. Zheng, the wide serve with depth. Katerina Siniakova forehand block return, and a forehand to left with depth from Qinwen Zheng. Backhand return from Katerina Siniakova. Backhand to left with depth from Zheng. Siniakova with a backhand return, and then Qinwen Zheng's next backhand to the right just hits the net. So advantage Siniakova. Another set point and break point on this Qinwen Zheng service game. The second one. Zheng with a wide serve, and it's a good serve and an ace from Qinwen Zheng. Deuce. Zhang with a serve to the centre, and it's another ace for Qinwen Zheng. 2 aces in a row. So advantage Zheng on this Qinwen Zheng service game. Siniakova leading the first set with a breaker serve. Zheng with a wide serve. Siniakova backhand return, and Qinwen Zheng a bit further forward with a forehand to the right and strikes a forehand winner. So that service game is held. Siniakova leads the first set of a breaker serve 5-4. Qinwen Zheng with 2 aces in a row on that last service game. 5 aces in this match for Qinwen Zheng. 1 ace for Katerina Siniakova in this match. Siniakova service game. Siniakova with serve towards the centre of the box, just hits the net though, so second serve. Siniakova with serve centre of the box with a bit of depth. Zheng with a forehand return with depth to the left. Siniakova forehand return, and then Qinwen Zheng's next forehand to the left just hits the net, so 15-love. Katerina Siniakova leads the first set of a breaker serve 5-4. Potentially a service game for Siniakova in this service game to potentially lead this match by 1 set to love. Maybe. Siniakova with a serve to the centre of the box with depth. Zheng with forehand return with depth, but a forehand with depth from Siniakova to the left. Zheng returns. Backhand from Siniakova with a bit of depth, and then Zheng's forehand to the right after that is just out, so 30-love. Siniakova will wide serve with depth, but just out, so second serve. Siniakova second serve, centre to wide the box with depth, and Qinwen Zheng's forehand return is a bit out, so 40-love, and 3 set points for Katerina Siniakova. On this Katerina Siniakova service game. 5-4 Siniakova break serve, 3 set points, 40-love on this Siniakova service game. Siniakova with a wide serve with depth, but just out, so second serve again. Siniakova with a serve to the centre of the box, and Qinwen Zheng with a forehand return winner ace. Forehand return winner ace to the right from Qinwen Zheng. So 40-15. 2 set points for Katerina Siniakova, the 4th set point in this first set for Katerina Siniakova, leading the first set of a breaker serve. Siniakova potentially of a service game to lead this match at 5-4 with a breaker serve. Siniakova will serve to centre with depth, and Qinwen Zheng's backhand return to the left is just out, and Katerina Siniakova leads by 1 set to love and has edged the first set 6-4. So, second set. Qinwen Zheng with the first service game of the second set. Katerina Siniakova leads by 1 set to love, having edged the first set 6-4. With a breaker serve. Katerina. Qinwen Zheng with the first service game of the second set. Zheng with a serve to the centre, and it's an ace. So first point of the second set, an ace from Qinwen Zheng. The 7th ace for Qinwen Zheng in this match. Zheng with a serve to the centre. Katerina Siniakova's forehand block return just hits the net, so 30 love. Zheng with a serve to the centre with depth. Siniakova return. Forehand to left with depth from Zheng. Siniakova returns another forehand to left with depth from Zheng. Siniakova returns a forehand and then a forehand to the right with depth from Zheng, and Katerina Siniakova's backhand return on defence after that to the right is just out, so 40 love. Zheng with serve towards wide, but just hits the net, so second serve. Zheng second serve to the centre, a bit of depth. Katerina Siniakova forehand return with depth to left, and Qinwen Zheng's backhand to left after that just hits the net, so 40-15. Forehand return with depth on that point from Katerina Siniakova. Zheng with a serve towards the centre, but just hits the net, so second serve. Zheng with a serve to the centre with depth. Siniakova backhand return with depth, backhand to backhand and forehand from Siniakova. Backhand to the right from Zheng with depth, but just out, so 40-30. Zheng with a wide serve and an ace. 8th ace of the match for Qinwen Zheng. That service game is held. 1-love Zheng on serve in the second set, and Katerina Siniakova leads the match by 1 set to love. In the first set, no break points for Qinwen Zheng. 3 break points for Katerina Siniakova. Won 1 out of 3 break points, and that break point 1 got Katerina Siniakova to edge that first set. Overall, 72% first serve in the first set for Katerina Siniakova, and 54% first serve for Qinwen Zheng in that first set. Second set, on serve. Siniakova service game. Siniakova was served towards centre wide of the box, is a bit out, so second serve. Siniakova serves to centre. Qinwen Zheng with a backhand return to the left with depth, and Katerina Siniakova with a backhand, but just hits the net, so love 15. Siniakova with a serve to the centre. Maybe a let. Another serve anyway. Another serve still. Siniakova with a serve to the centre. Qinwen Zheng the forehand return to left with depth. Siniakova returns forehand to the right with depth from Qinwen Zheng, and Qinwen Zheng strikes a forehand winner with that shot to the right. Forehand winner from Qinwen Zheng. Love 30. Siniakova serve towards centre of the box, but just hits the net, so second serve. Siniakova. Siniakova serve to the centre. Qinwen Zheng backhand return. Hits the top of the net and bounces over for a winner, and love 40. So 3 break points for Qinwen Zheng on this Katerina Siniakova game in the second set. Siniakova with a serve to the centre of the box, but it's a bit out, so second serve. Siniakova second serve to centre with depth, but Qinwen Zheng with forehand return with depth to the left. Siniakova returns, then a backhand to the right with depth from Qinwen Zheng, and Katerina Siniakova gets a bit of forehand racket to it, but can't get the ball much further, and Qinwen Zheng breaks to love on return of serve in the second set. And Qinwen Zheng leads the second set with a breaker serve. So 2-love Zheng with a breaker serve. Qinwen Zheng service game. Zheng with a wide serve. Katerina Siniakova forehand block return, and Zheng then a net of a forehand to the right, but just out. So love 15. Zheng with a wide serve with depth. Siniakova backhand return. Forehand with depth to the centre from Zheng. Forehand to forehand. And then after one forehand each, Qinwen Zheng's second forehand after that to the left just hits the net. So love 30 on this Qinwen Zheng service game. Zheng with a serve to centre the box with depth. Katerina Siniakova forehand block return. Then a forehand short slice from Qinwen Zheng. Katerina Sinikova's onto it with a backhand, but it's a bit out, so 15-30. Zheng with a serve to the centre, just out, so second serve. Zheng with a wide serve, with a bit of depth. Siniakova backhand return, backhand to backhand, but Qinwen Zheng's backhand is a bit out, so 15-40. And 2 break points for Katerina Siniakova on this Qinwen Zheng service game. Zheng with a wide serve with depth. Katerina Siniakova forehand block return, and then further forward, Qinwen Zheng with a forehand to the left with depth. Katerina Siniakova backhand return, but Qinwen Zheng with a forehand volley to the right and a forehand volley winner. So 30-40. Zheng with serve to the centre of the box with depth. Siniakova backhand return with depth. And Zheng with a forehand just out. So Katerina Siniakova with a break of serve on return straight back. 2-1 Zheng on serve in the second set. Katerina Siniakova service game. On serve in the second set. Siniakova with serve to centre the box with depth. Qinwen Zheng backhand return with a bit of depth, but Katerina Siniakova's backhand to the left after that is a bit out, so love 15. Siniakova with serve to the centre, just out, so second serve. Siniakova, second serve to the centre. Zheng returns, backhand Siniakova, forehand Zheng, backhand Siniakova, forehand Zheng again, to the right with a bit of depth, Siniakova backhand again. Then forehand to forehand of about 2 shots each, and Katerina Siniakova backhand with depth to left, and then Zheng with a backhand, and Siniakova with a shorter backhand after that, and Zheng onto it with backhand slice, but just hits the net, so 15 all. Siniakova with serve to the centre of the box with depth, and Qinwen Zheng's backhand return to the right is just out, so 30-15. Siniakova with serve to the centre, but just hits the net, so second serve. Siniakova second serve, centre box, bit of depth. Zheng forehand return with depth. Forehand to forehand, but Zheng's forehand to the left is just out, so 40-15 on this Katerina Siniakova service game. Siniakova was served to the centre, but just out, so second serve. Siniakova was served to the centre of the box, a bit of depth. Qinwen Zheng's forehand return to left, hits the top of the net, but bounces just out, so that service game is held. 2 games all on serve in the second set. Zheng with a serve, centre wide, the box with depth. Katerina Siniakova forehand. Block return, and then a bit further forward, Qinwen Zheng with forehand to the right, but it's just out, so love 15. Zheng with a wide serve, but just hits the net, so second serve. Zheng with a serve to the centre, a bit of depth. Siniakova returns, and then backhand to backhand of 3 shots each, backhand to backhand ball striking, and then on the fourth backhand of Qinwen Zheng with a backhand strikes a backhand winner to the left, 15 all. Zheng with a serve to the centre, but just out, so second serve. Zheng with a serve. Yeah, Zheng with a serve to the centre, a bit of depth, Siniakova returns, and Zheng with a forehand to the right with depth, Siniakova returns, Zheng then with a forehand with depth to the left, and Katerina Siniakova gets a forehand squash shot on it, but it just hits the net, so 30-15. Zheng with a wide serve, but just hits the net, so second serve. Zheng with a serve to the centre of the box with depth, Siniakova backhand return, bit of depth, backhand to backhand, second backhand Siniakova to the right with depth. Zheng forehand and forehand slice from Siniakova, and then forehand to forehand ball striking of 2 shots each, and a backhand to the right from Qinwen Zheng strikes a backhand winner to the right with that shot, Qinwen Zheng. 40-15. Zheng with a serve, centre of the box with depth, Katerina Siniakova forehand, block return, and Zheng with a forehand. And then Katerina Siniakova with a forehand with depth to the right, and Qinwen Zheng with a forehand slice on that just hits the net. So 40-30. Zheng with a wide serve with depth. Katerina, serve just out, so second serve. Forehand slice shot on the last point, just hit the net rather. But anyway, Qinwen Zheng second serve. Zheng with a serve to centre of the box. Siniakova with a backhand return with depth to the left, and Qinwen Zheng's backhand to the left after that just hits the net. So juice on this Qinwen Zheng service game. 2 games all on serve in the second set. Zheng with a serve to the centre with depth. Siniakova backhand return with depth. Zheng forehand, Siniakova forehand. Forehand to forehand ball striking of 3 shots each. 4 forehand from Zheng. And then Katerina Siniakova with backhand with depth to the left. And Zheng returns with a defence lob. But Katerina Siniakova with an overhead smash to the right. And it's an overhead smash winner from Katerina Siniakova. Advantage Siniakova and breakpoint Katerina Siniakova on this Qinwen Zheng service game. Katerina. Zheng with a serve to the centre with depth. And Katerina Siniakova's forehand block return just hits the net, so juice. Zheng with a serve centre of the box with depth, and Katerina Siniakova's forehand slice return just hits the net, so advantage Zheng on this Qinwen Zheng service game. Zheng with a serve to the centre of depth, Katerina Siniakova forehand block return, maybe a let, maybe just out, but another serve still. for Qinwen Zheng. Zheng with a second set of centre box, bit of depth. Katerina Siniakova backhand, return with depth, backhand to backhand. Then a shot from Siniakova, backhand to backhand again after that. Backhand to backhand ball striking rally of 4 shots each, and fifth backhand from Zheng, and then forehand bit of depth from Siniakova, and then the next shot from Zheng with a forehand is a bit out, so deuce on this Qinwen Zheng service game. Zheng with a wide serve, just out, so second serve. Zheng second serve, centre of the box. Siniakova forehand return with depth to the centre. Then Zheng with a forehand with depth, backhand from Siniakova with a bit of depth, and then Zheng with a forehand return to the right, but it's just out, so advantage Katerina Siniakova, and break point Siniakova on this Qinwen Zheng service game for Katerina Siniakova. Break points won this match 2 out of 6 for Katerina Siniakova and 1 out of 1 for Qinwen Zheng. Zheng with a serve wide with depth. Katerina Siniakova backhand return with depth. Zheng with a forehand to the left with depth. Siniakova returns. Siniakova turns to Zheng forehand with backhand, and backhand from Zheng and the Siniakova forehand to forehand. But the last forehand from Zheng is just out, and Katerina Siniakova with another breaker serve on return leads the second set with a breaker serve. 3-2 Siniakova leading with a breaker serve in the second set. So Katerina Siniakova service game. Siniakova leads the second set of a breaker serve at 3-2. Siniakova with a serve to the centre with depth. Qinwen Zheng backhand return with depth, and Siniakova backhand with a bit of depth. And then a backhand from Qinwen Zheng after that to the left is just out, so 15 love. Siniakova with a serve to centre of the box with depth. Qinwen Zheng with backhand return with depth to the right though. Siniakova forehand block shot return, but then Qinwen Zheng a bit further forward strikes a forehand to the left, and it's a forehand winner from Qinwen Zheng. 15 all. Katerina Siniakova has just won a point, so 30-15 on this Katerina Siniakova service game. Siniakova was served to the centre with depth. Qinwen Zheng with forehand return. Siniakova a bit further forward. It's a backhand with depth, and then Zheng with return with depth. Katerina Siniakova forehand return, but then Qinwen Zheng strikes a backhand winner to the right, so 30 all. Siniakova with a serve to the centre, and it's an ace from Katerina Siniakova. Katerina. Good serve from Katerina Siniakova. Siniakova with a wide serve with depth. Zheng backhand return with depth. Forehand with depth from Siniakova. Forehand to forehand of 2 shots each, but Zheng's second forehand is just out. So that service game is held, and Katerina Siniakova leads with a breaker serve in the second set still at 4-2. Katerina Siniakova with 2 aces in this match. 8 aces for Qinwen Zheng. 8 aces for Qinwen Zheng in this match. 2 for aces for Katerina Siniakova, 8 for Qinwen Zheng. Service games won 7 for Katerina Siniakova, 5 for Qinwen Zheng, 7 for Katerina Siniakova, 5 for Qinwen Zheng. Return games won 1 for Qinwen Zheng, but 3 return games won for Katerina Siniakova. And that's partly edging this match for Katerina Siniakova at this point of the match. 15-love, Qinwen Zheng has just won a point. Zheng with a serve to the centre. Maybe just out, but another serve still. Qinwen Zheng service game. Katerina Siniakova leads the second set with a breaker serve at 4-2. Zheng with a serve centre of the box, bit of depth. And then backhand to backhand after a Siniakova backhand return. Second backhand from Siniakova, and then forehand to forehand. Ball striking of 1 shot each. But then Qinwen Zheng on the second forehand of Qinwen Zheng strikes a forehand winner to the left. 30-love. Zheng with a wide serve with depth. Siniakova forehand return with depth. Backhand from Zheng. Forehand short slice from Siniakova. Zheng is onto it with a backhand slice in the net, but the shot is a bit out. So 30-15. Zheng with a serve sent to the box with depth, but just out. So second serve. Zheng with a serve sent to wide the box with depth. Siniakova with a backhand return with depth. Backhand to backhand, and forehand from Siniakova. Backhand to left with depth from Zheng. Siniakova a backhand return. And then forehand to forehand of 1 shot each. But then Qinwen Zheng on the second forehand of Qinwen Zheng strikes a forehand to the left with depth. Katerina Siniakova gets a backhand racket on it, but can't get the ball much further. 40-15. Zheng with a wide serve with depth. Katerina Siniakova forehand block return. Zheng with a forehand to left with depth. Siniakova returns. And then a forehand drop shot from Zheng. Hits the net a bit, so 40-30. Zheng with a wide serve with depth. Katerina Siniakova backhand block return is just out, and that service game is held. Katerina Siniakova leads the second set with a breaker serve at 4-3. So Katerina Siniakova service game, 15-all. Siniakova the serve to centre the box with depth. Qinwen Zheng returns with depth. Siniakova returns, but then Qinwen Zheng a bit further forward strikes a backhand winner to the left. So 15-30 on this Katerina Siniakova service game. 4-3 Siniakova with a leading with a breaker serve in the second set. Siniakova Siniakova with a serve to centre the box with depth. Qinwen Zheng backhand return to the left. Siniakova with forehand bit of depth, and then Qinwen Zheng's forehand after that is a bit out, so 30-all. Siniakova with a serve, but Qinwen Zheng with a forehand return with depth to the right, then a bit further forward. Qinwen Zheng with a backhand to the right with depth. Katerina Siniakova with a backhand defensive lob, but then on a smash, on a bounce, a smash overhead from Qinwen Zheng to the left, and it's an overhead smash winner. So 30-40 and break point for Qinwen Zheng on this Katerina Siniakova service game. 9 winners in this match from shots for Katerina Siniakova, 25 for Qinwen Zheng. Siniakova serves centre the box with depth. Zheng returns a backhand, then forehand. Backhand to left from Katerina Siniakova. After that is a bit out. So a breaker serve on return for Qinwen Zheng. And it's on serve in the second set. 4-all on serve. Qinwen Zheng service game. Zheng with a serve to the centre, just hits the net, so second serve. Zheng with a second serve to the centre. Katerina Siniakova backhand return to centre with depth, and then backhand from Zheng. Siniakova forehand with depth to the right, and then forehand with depth to the left from Zheng. And then a shot forehand with depth to the left from Katerina Siniakova, and then a backhand to the left from Zheng just after that, just hits the net, so love 15. Zheng with a wide serve. Just out, or maybe that, but another serve still. Zheng with a serve to the centre with depth. Katerina Siniakova beforehand block return, can't get the ball much further, so 15-all. Zheng with a serve to centre with depth. Katerina Siniakova backhand return, and then forehand to forehand. Ball striking of a shot each, but then the second forehand from Qinwen Zheng just after that to the right is just out. So 15-30 on this Qinwen Zheng service game. Zheng with a serve to the centre, just hits the net, so second serve. Zheng with a serve, with a wide serve, a bit of depth. Katerina Siniakova backhand return with depth to the left, and then Qinwen Zheng's backhand to the left just after that, just hits the net, so 15-40. And 2 break points for Katerina Siniakova on this Qinwen Zheng service game. Zheng with a serve to the centre, just out, so second serve. Zheng second serve to centre of the box. Katerina Siniakova forehand return with depth, then forehand from Zheng. Backhand Siniakova with depth. Zheng with forehand with depth, and Siniakova backhand return. Backhand to backhand. Ball striking of 2 shots each, and then forehand to forehand. But Qinwen Zheng's forehand to the left is just out, and Katerina Siniakova with a breaker serve on return leads the second set. 5-4 Siniakova with a breaker serve in the second set. So Katerina Siniakova service game. Siniakova was served to centre with depth. Zheng returns, and then backhand to backhand ball striking, and Qinwen Zheng's backhand to the right just hits the net. So 15-love. 5-4 Siniakova, leading with a breaker serve in the second set of a service game to win the match, maybe potentially. Siniakova edged the first set. Siniakova with a wide serve with depth. Zheng returns with depth. Forehand from Siniakova, forehand from Zheng. Then forehand with a bit of depth from Siniakova, forehand with depth from Zheng. And then Katerina Siniakova with a backhand after that. Just hits the net with that shot. So 15-all. Siniakova with a serve to the centre, but just hits the net. So second serve. Siniakova with a serve to the centre. Qinwen Zheng backhand return, bit of depth, forehand, side shot from Siniakova. And then Qinwen Zheng with backhand with depth, and Katerina Siniakova's forehand to the left after that just hits the net. So 15-30 on this Katerina Siniakova service game. Siniakova edged the first set 6-4 with a breaker serve, leads the second set of a breaker serve 5-4. Katerina Siniakova service game. Siniakova with a serve to the centre with depth, and Qinwen Zheng's forehand return to the left is just out, so 30-all. Siniakova with a serve to the centre with depth. Qinwen Zheng backhand return with depth. Siniakova forehand. And Zheng forehand to forehand ball striking of 3 shots each. But then the third forehand of Zheng to the left is just out. And it's match point Katerina Siniakova. 40-30. 5-4 Siniakova, leading with breaker serve in the second set. 40-30 on this Katerina Siniakova service game. And Siniakova with a match point. Siniakova with a serve to the centre just hits the net, so second serve. Siniakova, second serve to the centre. And Qinwen Zheng's forehand return is just out. And Katerina Siniakova through to the next round of the tournament in Berlin. Wins in 2 straight sets v Qinwen Zheng by 2 sets to love. 6-4, 6-4. Katerina.